What's up, everybody? Welcome back to IGN on the 6, IGN's premier Rainbow Six Siege show, where we bring you exclusive first looks and early access to everything Rainbow Six Siege. This episode is a big one. We are focusing on Operation Shadow Legacy, featuring a map rework of Chalet, and perhaps more importantly, we are getting a hands-on look at our new operator who you may be familiar with and is part of the Tom Clancy universe. That's right, your new and permanent operator edition and member of the roster is none other than Sam Fisher, the iconic protagonist from the Splinter Cell universe. And in this episode, our special Rainbow Six Siege content creator, Coconut Brah, will be giving us an exclusive hands-on with Sam Fisher and sharing his tips and tricks on how you can get the most out of Sam Fisher. All that and details on a free-to-play week starting August 27th, so make sure you stick around. But first, we talked to Rainbow Six Siege art director Alexander Karpazis to give us a brief overview on Operation Shadow Legacy, as well as some of the new features coming to Siege, such as Ping 2.0 and the new reinforcement pool for defenders. Let's take a look.
Quick overview of Shadow Legacy is actually a bit tricky because there's so much stuff coming this new season. We have a whole bunch of gameplay features. We have Ping 2.0, we added a new contextual ping. And what that does is it highlights gadgets, it highlights reinforcements. So now you have a lot more agency and a lot more utility to actually share information with everybody around you. The big change with defenders is the reinforcement pool, which kind of democratizes the reinforcements that you start at the beginning of the match. You have a fixed pool of 10, and anybody can lay out those reinforcements. The reason behind this was to allow new players to relieve some of that pressure of putting the reinforcement in the right place. Experienced players then could actually place them where they needed to be. They're not limited to 2 anymore.
You should know better than to write me off.
We've got Zero, Sam Fisher, joining Rainbow Six Siege. We had to do a lot of work when we're talking about Sam Fisher. First of all, this is Sam in his 60s. We wanted this Sam to be our own, that we could write a story that works with him. And so there was a lot of groundwork to make sure that it all made sense. We had to take a hard look at the gameplay elements and made sure that felt right. Obviously, we can't have Sam like doing splits in hallways, like cracking guys' necks. But what we chose to do instead was to rely on all of his intel gathering.
Ready. Argus launched.
Zero is joining the attacker side. He's bringing his Argus gadget along with him. And what he can do with that is fire a 2-way camera through either reinforced walls or breakable walls. And essentially what that gives him is intel on 2 sides. On top of that, he has, for each camera, the ability to tase 1 gadget. Zero is also getting a new gun to the game. It's going to be Sam's classic SC3000K, and of course this is his classic rifle that he'll be bringing with him, so we hope players have a lot of fun with that. We're excited about the possibilities, and we think that does open the door for maybe Ghost Recon, maybe The Division. It's still super early. We want to see how the community reacts to having this kind of icon step into the game now, and if this is something that players really want to see more of.
Consider this a teaching moment.
And that's just some of the major changes coming to Operation Shadow Legacy. Don't forget, from August 27th to September 4th, you can recruit your friends and play free together during Rainbow Six Siege's free-to-play week. Now, it's time to check in with Coconut Brah to find out what Sam Fisher coming to Rainbow Six Siege means for the game and his tips and tricks on the best way to play him.
What is up, everybody? I am Coconut Brah, and what I do for the Rainbow Six Siege community is a little bit different. I try to help people succeed in the video game by using alternative methods that a lot of people don't think is like the normal way to play.
So smooth as well from Coconut Brah.
First impressions of Operation Shadow Legacy would be the first thing that a lot of people are going to think about is they're going to see, oh, there's only 1 new operator. And we're a little bit spoiled because we do get 2 for every single season for the last like 4.5 years. this is the first time that only one new operator is coming out. But once you open up the game and you're in it for a few minutes, you don't even think about how there's not a second operator, because all of the other quality of life changes all stacked on top of each other that come together, it really makes it feel like a Rainbow Six Siege 2. This is probably one of the best updates there ever has been.
You should know better than to write me off.
Sam Fisher, it means a lot to the game. I mean, he's been in the Ubisoft Tom Clancy world forever. I believe that he's going to change the meta with his gadget. There are a lot of different options in the ways that you can play him. And I believe that a well-coordinated team will definitely be able to take full advantage of that. So I think he's going to mix it up by bringing a lot more intel to the game and open up opportunities for pushes based on intel that he's going to bring. Best tips for playing new operator Zero or Sam Fisher, I would say just do your best to get his utility down. He has 4 cameras, and to think about how strong each drone is, and not a lot of people take advantage of like the true strength of a drone, and the fact that he now brings 2 drones plus 4 cameras that can be used for intel, just that in itself is really, really strong. So I would do your best to get all of your gadgets down, whether that means going to the opposite end of the site and shooting one of your cameras out, which will basically act like a flank drone. From all the testing I did, you can shoot them incredibly far. So if you wanted to like shoot an Argus launcher camera up on top of the ceiling inside of the map to watch for flanks, you can totally do that, and it won't necessarily be seen by the defenders.
Ready. August launched.
My loadout recommendations for Zero would definitely be to test out his new AR, see what you think of it. He brings a new AR. It's the SC3000K, a brand new gun to Siege, and this gun does have access to the 2x scope. You want to test out all the new sights. From everything that I saw, I really like the 2x sight, and his new gun does have that option versus his other option, the MP7, does not. It has the 1.5. For his gadgets, you are going to have the option of 2 grenades or a claymore. I recommend the 2 grenades. Grenades are rare for the attackers now. And just with the overall utility amount that's in Siege right now, being able to help clear utility, plus having all of those flank cameras, plus whatever laser shots, depending on how you want to use them, is going to just bring his entire loadout to be incredibly helpful to the team. When I first saw the Ping 2.0 system, I was a little bit worried about it because I was thinking that what if it starts blocking your lines of sight, whether that be like, say you're holding an angle. I didn't want it to block something else that's really important to be able to see, obviously. From the testing that I did on it, they actually did do a really good job of making it transparent, especially when you look in that general direction. Along with that, it's going to be super helpful for like new players. A new player during the prep phase, they might not necessarily know like specific call outs. A great example would be, say there's a new player droning, he could just ping Capcan traps now versus maybe he doesn't know exactly what those are. The line of communication, I feel like, is definitely going to be a lot easier with the new ping system for everybody. So I think that's great. I think the best way to make use of the new reinforcement pool for the defenders is going to depend if you're playing solo or with a team. If you're solo, you could just use it to reinforce more than normal because a lot of times they don't necessarily get put in the right place. Some defenders really have a larger role to play in the prep phase, whether that be like making rotate holes, opening up certain lines of sight, setting up more utility than others. Versus some, like Rook, only have armor to place down, and then he doesn't really have much else to do. So in that situation, it's really going to help the other defenders focus on their specific role as a team in that prep phase. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out, especially in Pro League. So there's a lot of advice that you can give like new players in video games, but even more so in Siege. The best advice for new players in Rainbow Six Siege would be, I think a lot of people are just really overwhelmed with how much there is to learn in the game, but try not to get intimidated by that because you really don't need to be scared. Everybody was on that level at one point, and every single time that you jump on Rainbow Six Siege, by the time you get off on that same play session, there's something new that you learned, and that knowledge really just builds up and up. If you're brand new, I would say really focus on one character. You want to find who you like, learning the ins and outs of that one character. And once you have a strong knowledge of your favorite one, then I'd say jump onto another. You want to get to the point where you can take your favorite character and teach somebody else his moves. So definitely just taking one thing at a time with Siege, and eventually the knowledge, it just really builds up and you kind of fall down that like rabbit hole of infinite things to learn in the game. And I think that's part of the reason the game has lasted so long and why it has such a hardcore fan base. And I mean, that's one of the main reasons I love it too. So oh, it's okay. Hard left. Yeah, if you nade that, I can jump in after the nade. Oh! Oh, you know what I can do? I can just shoot this right here. This cool little guy. And I'll just watch for it. Okay. You're the best. Thank you so much. Dude, that gadget is so sick. You can just use it however you want to. New drone hole. Look at this. This corner? Like this corner? All right, here. We can check with this cool new gadget that Sam Fisher has. Check it out. What? Ah. Ah! Bathroom looks clear. It's gonna be close. Nice try, dude.
Mission successful.
Whew.
Sam Fisher is available now on the PC test servers, and we want to see how you and your squad are playing him. For a chance to be featured on IGN on the 6th, submit your best clips by going to globalstudios.ign.com/Rainbow6. And if you feel like you still haven't gotten your Rainbow Six fix, IGN's Wiki Guides got you covered for everything on the operators, gadgets, weapons, and more. And a special thanks to Alexander Karpazis and Coconut Brah for showing us everything we need to know about Sam Fisher and Operation Shadow Legacy. I'm Sydney Goodman, and thanks for watching IGN on the 6th.